What it do, guys. So we are here in Minnewaska State Park. It's part of the Shwangong mountain range, and it's located here in the Hudson Valley. So if you're not familiar to this area, we have like a fairly extensive mountain range that goes all the way down to around the Ellenville area, and some of that ridge extends out, you know, towards New Jersey, and then goes all the way up to just to the base of the foothills of the Catskill mountain range. So today is Halloween. It may not look like Halloween with all the snow up here in the mountains. It's absolutely gorgeous up here. You got a doggy photo shoot going on up here. But yeah, so this is a beautiful state park if you've never been here. So we are here at Lake Minnewaska. That beautiful snowfall from last night and yesterday, still maintaining up here because the temperatures are down. This is the Mohonk Mountain Range in the Hudson Valley. And we are at Minnewaska State Park, and this is Lake Minnewaska. So this lake actually is a glacial lake, or I shouldn't maybe say glacial lake. We have no glacier here, but back during the last ice age, a giant glacier came across the mountain range here, you know, in a massive, insanely large one, and it tore a couple of holes, or I should say more than a couple, tore a bunch of holes in the mountain. And what we know those are sky lakes, and this is the largest sky lake in Minnewaska. There's a bunch of hidden ones and some that aren't even marked on the map, because in this region they have the most biodiversity, you know, house some of the most biodiverse lakes and ponds on the mountainside. So this one is the one where you can't see it right now, and I think it plays up more when especially in the summer when you get that really intense sunshine. But this lake is like a little bluish green, and that's because the silt or some of the rock sediment that still exists within the actual lake. So we can't really see it right now. It does look a bit dark, and I think that's just because of the time of year, the snow. We've had a lot of leaf litter in the water, but that is what this lake is, somewhere where I came growing up, and it's like a big part of my childhood. So if you're not from here, this is a beautiful place to hike, but this time of year, especially from you know, September through November, is a little bit difficult now because so many people want to come visit from the city, so it gets very, very packed and overwhelmed. When I was growing up, there was hardly anyone up here. But the other thing is, of course, that more and more people want to get out and be active due to COVID. So there's some really good pros about people wanting to get out, but it also makes it a little bit harder for us locals to, you know, kind of enjoy the space. But I would still encourage all of you to come here, come visit, you know, be respectful visitors, treat the land properly. But as you can see, this gorgeous snowfall just all over the lake. There used to be a hotel up here back in the day, I think in like the 50s and 60s. It might even lasted into the 70s, but I believe it burned down. I don't know if you guys can see in the back there, that ledge or cliff. I actually, when I was 5, I almost fell off of that, but that's for another story. So we're gonna get hiking. We're gonna do the loop, or the main loop around the lake, and we're going to just try to take in some of the nature right now and some of the beauty on a snowy Halloween. So Minnewaska State Park is 23,000 square acres, and it has these patches of of parks. You know, there is the greater state park, and of course there's the visiting area. So Minnewaska and Owasso Falls is like one of the main dominant ones for the rock climbers. It's the area called the Traps, or the West Traps. Going down as far as like Ellenville, Pine Bush area, we have the what's the name again? Sam's Point. There we have Sam's Point. And then there's all these like smaller kind of localized regional stops or pull-offs that are part of the greater state park system. So to my understanding, this is the main, like, kind of like beating heart, you know, this region near Gardner, New York, New Paltz, New York, Accord, Hudson. So, but there, you know, there are more stops that you can go to, and more, you know, public visiting areas through the park, you know, as you go up and down the mountain range. And many spots are like kind of unofficial stops, or, you know, spots that locals know about, but this is obviously the main area with all the car park and everything. Oh snap, this bridge is a little slippery. What the heck? parkoured your way up there?
Yeah, me and Judy.
Oh, look at you, Juno. Christmas sweater and all. Oh. Snow's starting to melt a bit, so it's getting a little soupy out here. But still, it's pretty wet snow, so it's clinging. You're getting these really gorgeous shots, as you can see. Beautiful flares in the sun. So hopefully some of the photography comes out the way I'm hoping it does. So pretty rare find. I've, lived here for 28 years and I've actually never seen a porcupine kind of this low in a tree and kind of in a pretty big open area. So a little unusual, but I think he's picking the last of the season's like berries and stuff off some of the trees. So we've been having a lot of problems lately around here with like cars, and since there's so many more cars than there used to be, with the porcupines getting hit, because they're very similar to possums. They're predominantly nocturnal, and as you can see, he's kind of getting his winter coat in a little bit. But the thing is, we're having the cars come, and just so we have such a higher volume, so they're getting hit more. So this year alone, I've probably seen 5 porcupines hit. So it's really good to see that there's some still out here that are being, and healthy, and up here on the mountain that are doing what they're supposed to be doing and living their best life. So, oh, is he coming down?
Oh, he was a little bit.
Sorry, I thought he might have been coming down. Finally made it to one of the viewpoints.
Can we take the picture again?
So right now we've lost a lot of the leaf cover because of the snow and rain, but we got these deep oranges left and some of the reds. Got a little bit of green over here from the evergreens and hemlocks. Over there is like Newpaltz. Gardner, New York is over here. Poughkeepsie is this gap, and Newburgh is down, and Newburgh Beacon is down that way. So we've officially made it halfway around the lake. This is the cliff where we did some of our photography earlier. There's a beautiful viewing point out this way, but so you can see across the lake, gorgeous reflection on this end with the clouds. And then the visitor center that I was talking in front of on the beginning of this morning was up there. So we're about halfway. This hike is, I think, like maybe a mile, right?
What do you think? I think maybe almost 2.
Really?
I don't know. It's not that far.
I'm so bad at judging distance when it comes to like hikes like around a lake. We did stop a lot.
We stopped a lot, so it feels longer, but it's really not that bad.
But yeah, really easy hike. All of it's just gravel like this. So, like any pretty much skill level can do this. Very little experience needed. Of course, this is like the most beginner level you can probably get. But yeah, just really this gorgeous scene and all of the snow. So we have made it back to the car. Of course, always a lovely hike around Minnewaska Lake. It wasn't too busy today. I think partially because of the weather, people were holding off. It is a little bit cold. It's like 36 degrees for most of the time, and now it's about 38, so only raising a little bit up here. The snow held for most of the hike, so it was really beautiful. And I don't know the exact distance. I'm gonna have to write that down as later when I edit the video, but the it really wasn't too bad. It says for the whole day I've walked about 3.8 miles, and I think it's only 2, as Denise had mentioned earlier. So we're back here, gonna get Juno some water. We're gonna head out, have some errands to do today after this, pick up some microphones. I got some exciting stuff that's gonna be coming in the near future, and so that microphone's really, you know, key and crucial. So yeah, great hike. Lake Minnewaska in Minnewaska State Park. Highly suggest it. And always remember, when you guys are coming up here, get up here early because the parking lot fills up quite fast. The other thing is also that you could try is going later in the afternoon, because oftentimes folks from the city like to get back, you know, heading back home. So I would say also shoot anytime after. Right now we're here, it's about 2:30 to 3 o'clock. Park closes at dusk. So I would say you can still get away with a couple hours, like, you know, 2 hours of hiking if you show up here at 3, because I'm starting to see a lot of cars clearing out. So these are some tips and tricks for when you guys are visiting the Hudson Valley and doing the Lake Minnewaska hike. Please, you know, like the video, give it a thumbs up, because that really helps the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe. So I will see you guys in the next video.